it's Sarah. Alright, to be honest, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I just know that I have a few topics to discuss. Some are big topics, some are smaller. Regardless, here's the latest news that's been happening in the past couple days. Okay, so first topic, the official poster for Dunkirk came out. And if you guys look at the poster, it actually looks like Harry. People are speculating that it's actually him. And to me, it actually does look like Harry. But it's hard to tell because a lot of people on set did look like Harry. But it says the network has the first official poster for Dunkirk film in which our Harry has played a role. It also reported that the second trailer for the film has already been sent to the US cinemas and will be shown before the movie, Castaway 1, Star Wars, The Stories, and Incidental Beauty. So as you guys already know, there's already been one teaser for Dunkirk, which we didn't really see Harry in. It was very quick. There was like no dialogue in it either, because it's a teaser. But the fact that we'll be able to see a trailer for it, like, I'm so excited. The fact that I'm getting excited over a trailer, imagine me watching the movie. But again, I hope we can all be respectful in the theaters, because people who just want to watch it because it's a war movie, we want to respect them. No one wants to hear a bunch of fangirls in the theater. Next topic, new pictures of Louis. So obviously, as everybody knows, it's been a rough couple of days, maybe few days in terms of the Tomlinson family. So the fact that we're seeing Louis out and about, he looks a little bit better, and I'm really glad that Louis is managing. So basically, before I get into Danielle being there, because, no, I'm just kidding. Before I get into that, I just want to talk about how cute Louis looks in this little sweater. He looks cute in everything. He's cute regardless. But it says the sweater in his hand, look at him, slippers, face, duh. Yeah, duh. I know Louis's been smoking for a couple years now, but I still hate how he's doing it because, I mean, he's a singer. You would think that a person who has a singing career would not be smoking, and it's just bad for you. At least vape. A lot of you have been curious about my stance on Louis and Danielle because, I mean, I get why you could be confused because I feel like every video I'm saying something different. So here's my official opinion of Louis and Danielle just so we can clear it up. Even though I don't think Louis and Danielle are in a relationship, or even if I don't think that they really love each other, I feel like Danielle is still in Louis's life. She's still a part of his life. So whatever relation they have, I feel like Danielle is making Louis somewhat happy, and I think Louis is making Danielle somewhat happy. If they didn't, I doubt they'd still be hanging out. And a lot of people are like, whoa, it's a PR stunt. I mean, do you really think that they'd be stunting after Louis's mom's death? I don't think they'd be doing that, and that's just me thinking logically. Like, why can't Louis have friends who are girls? So even though a lot of people find Danielle's presence annoying, I feel like whenever I see a picture of them together, I'm just like, oh, they're just hanging out, they're making each other happy. Louis really needs his friend's support in this time in his life. So why are we gonna get mad at Louis hanging out with somebody? I'm not gonna hate Danielle for hanging out with Louis, whatever their relation is. And I think it's kind of petty for us as a fandom to really care that much. And that's all I'm gonna say on it. Okay, anyway, back to the matter at hand. So this says, the hotel thing is interesting. Someone on Twitter tweeted yesterday that she has seen Harry entering a hotel while she was passing it. They said, I'm crying, what the fuck? I was just walking back to my hotel and walked past Harry getting straight out of the car into a hotel. I'm shook. This says, I don't care if y'all gonna say stop making this about Larry, but like, Larry have always stayed real, and I'm just so glad to just know that they are together in this rough time for both of them. I'm happy they can grieve together and being around each other. This says, yes, honestly, Harry and Louis stayed together with Danielle in a different room, and Louis just had to stand outside for pictures with Danielle for her like 5 minutes of fame. They probably didn't stay at Lou's London home because he wanted privacy, since I think Louis shares his house and Harry's with his family. Okay, so just a little summary. So someone saw Harry enter a hotel, apparently the same one Louis and Danielle stayed at, and people are saying that Louis and Harry probably shared a room and Louis only went outside with Danielle just for her few moments of fame, meaning that Danielle probably had her own room unless they shared a room. It's kind of hard to say if this is true or not because this is just one person tweeting that they saw Harry go inside a hotel. I'm not even sure if they named the hotel. There were no pictures, there was no video evidence, but we got picture evidence that Louis and Danielle were together, so that's fact. But we don't know about the Harry thing. We don't know if they slept in the same room. We don't know the sleeping details with Louis and Danielle. We don't know anything. It's all just speculation based off of our biases and beliefs. So I can't really tell you guys what actually happened because I don't have that proof. But regardless, I know for a fact that Harry and Louis have been hanging out the past few days, and they have been comforting each other, whether as partners or friends. So regardless of all this Danielle bullshit, the only thing I care about is that Louis and Harry have been comforting each other. But then these tweets say, I don't understand why he stay in a hotel if he has a house in London. They stayed in a hotel, but I thought he had a house in London. He has a house in London, so theoretically he would not have to stay in a hotel if they lived together in LA, right? It's not making any sense that they stayed there. In my understanding, these photos only prove again that they are not really in a relationship and that is just a stunt. But why they need to stunt? His mother just died. I don't think he would do that. I mean, really don't know. Why? Because she needs promo. I'm sure there will be a Daily Mail article about how she's being the supportive girlfriend. It's kind of a touchy subject because I don't want to be that person to say, oh, Danielle needs PR and Louis is doing this whole publicity stunt with Danielle right after his mom died. Like, I feel like an asshole for saying that, but that's what people are still speculating. But when the person mentioned the Daily Mail writing an article about Danielle being the supportive girlfriend, well, the Daily Mail did write an article. It says the Daily Mail has released an article in some pat pics from what appears to be yesterday morning of Louis and Danielle outside her hotel. Same as always between them and looks to be taken over a 5 to 10 minute period. Nothing major, so I'm not posting it. Just commenting because apparently he still has a few pap requirements even though he's been free of them for most part over the last several days. This says what happened is that Louis and Danielle were papped outside a hotel last morning, and Daily Mail published the article in pics. And that's what you missed on Glee. I mean, of course. I feel like we never get a break in this fandom. Like, something tragic happens and then we get bullshit after and then people speculating, all this drama and more articles, and it's just a mess. And I feel like a lot of this drama is unnecessary. And now my next topic is Project Louis Aid. Now, if you guys go on Twitter a lot, you probably saw a lot of projects being made by fans in dedication to Jay's death. There's been a ton of them. I don't know which one to follow, which one to do, which one to promote, but this one stuck out to me the most. This says hashtag Project Louis Aid. This is the first time we'll be attempting a project like this. Usually we just try to raise money or make a fan video, which we'll still do, but Louis and Joanna deserves more. Louis absolutely loves playing in charity soccer matches, and his mother loved watching them. We want to get in contact with UNICEF, or however you pronounce that, Soccer Aid, and see if they will try to hold an event in Joanna and her family's honor. It'll be hard to do so, but we have to try for Louis and Joanna. So if you guys look at this, this is the mailing address, and here's the email, and then here's the email of the people who made the project and their address. It says when you send the email to them, please also send it to us just so we can keep track of how many people participate. And then it says what your email and letter should say. Subject Louis Tomlinson and Joanna Deacon. And obviously I'm not going to read that whole thing, but here it is. You can just pause the video, take a screenshot, whatever. And I knew our fandom would do this because every time something happens in the fandom regarding Louis, one of the boys, something good that happens, something bad that happens, we always make a project dedicated to Louis. Like, you remember Project No Control? That was awesome. Louis and the boys all knew about that. And it really makes them happy. And I'm glad that us as a fandom can get together and make things happen. And sometimes our projects get so popular that interview people talk about it. Like, the press talks about it. Like, yeah, our fandom can be annoying at times, but we do more good than bad, let's be honest. And now my last topic, Niall getting presents for Ben Winston's newborn. So I know this topic's a little old. This happened before Louis' mom's death, but I just never talked about it in a video. Part of me doesn't want to talk about it because it brings up a lot of drama, but part of me wants to talk about it because it is news and it's something that happened and I still find it interesting, so whatever. So as you can clearly see by the pictures, Niall just bought some baby gifts for Ben Winston's newborn daughter. And it says, Niall today in LA picking up this basket full of gifts for Ben Winston's newborn. Niall gets publicly papped getting a baby gift for Winston's new baby. Louis is his best friend and has a baby. Niall doesn't do anything. Just saying. Before I read more tweets about this, I want to talk about that. I don't know your opinion about this, but I think it's really weird how Louis is Niall's BFF. And as far as we know, Niall and the boys haven't given anything for Freddie. But then again, we don't know because there were no pictures. They could have done it behind the scenes. We only know what the press shows us. But then when it comes to Ben Winston's newborn, Niall is out just getting tons of gifts for her. It's just weird where Niall's priorities are at. This says, I'm Niall ignoring the fact for months that his bandmate got a Freddie son, but liking a pic of Ben Winston's newborn and buying them gifts. So not only did he buy the newborn gifts, but he also liked a picture of the baby. I don't want to give you guys false information, so did Niall ever like a picture of Freddie? Like, I know the boys have acknowledged it. I feel like Niall did send out a tweet about Louis having a baby son, but I can't remember. Do you remember that interview in 2015 when they finally brought up Louis' baby for the first time and Louis said, I'm buzzing, but he really didn't look like he was buzzing, and his bandmates didn't look happy or buzzing either. Yeah, after that interview, I was fully convinced that something was up, something was shady, not going right. I feel like if Louis actually had a baby, we all know Harry loves babies, you would think that they would look happier. You would think especially Louis would look happier. I don't know why when they brought up the baby, all the boys looked pissed off. That's what's really shady to me. I don't know if I went off topic, but I'm just saying. I'd also like to slip in one more topic. I know I said that last topic was my last topic, but I forgot one thing. And this also happened before Jay's death. So basically this article came out saying Harry Styles went candle shopping wearing a yellow jumper just like a ray of sunshine. To be honest, he looked like Charlie Brown. But there was also speculation that Harry was with Louis' family because of the destinations they were at. So here's a picture of Harry at a candle shop. Then if we look at Lottie's Snapchat of the siblings, you can see in the corner that specific candle. And then someone went online and found that same candle at the store that Harry was at. So I don't know if Lottie put that candle in her Snapchat intentionally so we would know. So it says, remember last year when the pic of Harry and his friends came out and he had a present with him, and the same night one of the twins Snapchatted from Donnie, and under their tree there was the same present? And it says, guess we know who's buying those expensive candles now. Harry doing his Christmas shopping in advance as always. Can't wait to see a bag from Dip Fike, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, on the Tomlinson's Christmas tree. So yeah, I swear if one of Louis' siblings sends out a Snapchat on Christmas of those same candles underneath the tree, it will be a fact that Harry went candle shopping for Louis and his family. And you know what? I'm not even gonna make this about Larry because I just think that's a nice gesture. Harry could have bought them for the family in this time of grief. Anyway guys, that's all the topics I have for today. Leave your thoughts down below. And like always, I make a video whenever I want, so like and subscribe. All my social media is down in the description, and I will see you guys later. Bye.